children, how are you? Today in your Learn One English, I'll be doing one lesson of Unit 2.1, which is the girl on the train. So dear children, first of all you will write today's date and classwork and then start your work. So this is a lesson about the two people who were traveling on a train. One was the boy who was already there in the compartment when the girl entered, and what all conversation was held between them, that we'll study. There are two parts of this lesson. First we'll start the lesson. I was traveling by train. It was a first class compartment, and up to Rampur I was alone in it. Then a girl got on. The couple seeing her off were probably her parents. They seemed to be very anxious about comfort and safety. The women gave the girl detailed instructions as to how she should bear herself during the journey. She told her that where to keep her things so that they were not lost. She bade her not to lean out of the window. Particularly, she asked not to avoid talking to the strangers. Now, this is the story of a boy and a girl, as I told you, who were in the same compartment traveling in a train. So the boy who is narrating the story himself is saying, here the boy himself who is traveling is the narrator of the story. So he is telling that I was traveling by train to Dehradun. I was going to Dehradun, and I was sitting in the first class compartment of the train. Dear children, you might be knowing that when you travel by train to long distances, there are different types of compartments. One is a AC, then there's a first class compartment, then there's a sleeper compartment, then there's a general compartment. So different type of compartments with the different facilities are there. So this narrator was traveling in the first class compartment. So up to the Rampur station, he was alone. But then from that station, a girl got into the train in his compartment. Then there were two people who were accompanying her, and the narrator thinks that they were the parents of that girl, who were very much anxious about the safety of their daughter, because she was traveling alone in the train. So the mother of that girl was giving lots of instructions how to keep the things, belongings, while traveling alone, so that they are not lost, and are not to talk to the strangers, not to give the identity, etc. She was giving her lots and lots of instructions about how to travel alone and how to take care of ourselves when you are traveling alone in the train, and not to talk to the strangers. As I was blind, I could not tell what the girl looked like, but I knew when she wore slippers from the way they slapped against the heels. She laughed as she talked, and I liked the sound of her voice. Are you going to Dehradun? I asked her as the train pulled out of the station. So the narrator who is telling the story was actually blind, and so she could not see the girl, but she knew from the voice. Actually, the people who cannot see have a very sensitive sense of hearing and smell, so that they can make out from the voice that what that voice is all about. So that boy, or the narrator himself, thought that the girl who came inside was wearing the slippers, because the voice that came on when she was walking, that slipper slapped against her heels. मतलब कि जब हम चलते हैं तो चप्पल आवाज़ का आवाज़ आता है, तो उस आवाज़ से जो है नरेटर को पता लग गया कि ये जो है लड़की जो एंटर हुई कंपार्टमेंट के अंदर, वो स्लीपर्स पहन के आई थी. She laughed. Her laughing was so sweet that the narrator liked the sound of her voice. And then as the train started off from the station, means pulled off out of the station, means as the train moved out of the station, the narrator asked the girl that are you also going to Dehradun? Now we move on to page number 35. It must have been sitting in the dark corner, because my voice startled her. She gave a little exclamation and said, I didn't know anyone else but here in was there in the compartment. Now this narrator was sitting in one of the corners of the seat of the train, so the girl did not take notice that there was someone sitting in the compartment. So as the narrator asked the girl that, are you also going to Dehradun, she was startled, means she was just surprised to hear the voice, because she thought that there is nobody in the compartment. So she was just totally amazed to hear the voice of the narrator, because she herself said that is anyone else is there in the compartment. She was not knowing about that. I too didn't see you at first, I said, but I heard you came in. As the narrator was blind, but that girl didn't see that the somebody sitting in the compartment, so she was not knowing that the person who is sitting in the same compartment is blind. So the narrator told the girl that I didn't see you, but I could hear your voice, so I came to know that you came in the compartment, you entered the compartment. I wondered if I could be able to prevent the girl from discovering that I was blind. I thought to myself, if I keep my seat and she won't perhaps know of it. Now, the narrator did not want the girl to know that he was blind. He wanted that she should not discover that the narrator is blind. So he thought to himself, that thought came in his mind only, that I can keep to my seat, and if I remain at where I am sitting, that the girl won't be able to know also that I am blind. If I do not do any movement, then the girl will not be able to know that I am blind, because if you do some movement, then only you need to see. But if you are sitting in one place quietly without any movement, then the next person sitting to you won't be able to know that you are blind. I am getting down at Saharanpur, the girl said. My aunt shall come to receive me at the station. Where are you going? Now the girl replied that she is going to get down at the Saharanpur station. The girl said that my aunt is going to receive me at the station. So where are you going? Now all the stations is Dehradun, Saharanpur, Rampur. These are all the districts of the Uttar Pradesh. To Dehradun and then to Mussoorie, I replied. Now what did the narrator say? That yes, first I will be going to Dehradun, and from Dehradun I'll move to Mussoorie. Oh, lucky you, exclaimed the girl. I wish I could go. I wish I too were going to Mussoorie. I love the mountains, especially in the October. Now the girl said that you are so lucky that you are going to Mussoorie. I also want to go to the Mussoorie, and especially in the month of the October, because she said I love the mountains very much, and during the October, the season is very good in the hilly areas. Yes, this is the best time, I said, recalling my memories when I could see. Now the narrator, once upon a time he could see that this has been now made clear by him, the narrator himself, that he recalled his memories of those mountain hilly regions of the beautiful Mussoorie when he could see. So he recalled all his memories and thought how beautiful it looked in the month of October. The hills are covered with beautiful wild flowers. It is pleasant during the day and the sun is delicious. At night you can sit in front of the log fire and drink a lot of brandy. Now he said that the hills are covered with the white flowers. So October is the month where the maximum flowers bloom in the hilly regions. So it is very pleasant during the day, and sun is also neither too harsh, nor too light, nor too hot. So the weather is very pleasant. You feel the warmth of the sun, that you feel good, that warmness of the sun, you feel good. And at night also you can sit along the fire and drink the brandy. Brandy is a type of drink that is drunk in the hilly and the colder regions to keep your body warm. She didn't say anything in reply. For quite a while there was silence. I wondered if my words were offended her. Perhaps she was thinking of me as a romantic fool. So after the girl did not reply about what he said about the beauty of the Mussoorie. So he thought that I might have said something which has offended her, which might have hurt her. So she is not replying. But because he thought perhaps that girl might be thinking about me as I am a romantic fool, means I am just the one who takes a lot of pleasure in talking about the things like beauty, love, etc. So she might be thinking like I am that type of person. So Now the first part is over. Now we'll move to the second part, which is on page number 36. The second part of the story on page number 36. Then I made a mistake. What is it like outside? I asked. This question did not surprise her. Had she noticed that I could not see? Now, the narrator made a mistake, and because he wanted to break the silence that was between them, so he asked the girl, how does it look outside? Then the girl, she was not surprised to hear that question, but on the contrary, she said, why don't you see outside? What is there? But I felt assured when she asked quite naturally, why don't you look out of the window? Now the confidence came back to the narrator when the girl asked him that in a natural tone. She said that, why don't you look outside at the window and see what's outside? I moved easily along the berth and felt the window ledge. The window was open and I faced it. I made a pretense of studying the landscape. Now slowly the narrator started moving on the berth and felt for the window ledge. That means he could feel that the window is close by. Now what is the berth? The berth is the seat of the train. It's called as the berth. It is not called the seat as we say seat number 1, 2, 3 on the bus. It is called as the berth number 1, 2, 3 in the trains. It is called as the berth. So he was just moving easily on the berth and he could feel that he has been close to window, and he felt that the window was open also. Now he was trying to pretend as if he was looking at the landscape outside. In my mind's eye, I could see the telegraph post flashing by. Have you noticed? Have you noticed, I said with confidence, that the trees seem to be moving while we seem to be still? Now, in his mind he was thinking what all could he see, because at one point of time he could see also, as we know. So in his mind he had some memories that, so he said, I could see the telegraph post flashing. There was lights were flashing. As you can see, when we are traveling on the railways at certain distance, we have some poles which flash some lights. So he said, I could imagine the lights flashing. And then he said to the girl that, have you noticed? He was full of confidence when he was talking to that girl, that you can see the trees are moving when we are still. We feel that we are still, but the trees are moving along with us. That always happens, she said. Now the girl replied very naturally, yes, that always happens. There's nothing new in that. I turned from the window and faced the girl. For a while we sat in silence. Now from the window he started looking towards the girl, as he pretended to be looking towards the girl, but there was a great silence in between. You have an interesting face, I commented. I was becoming quite daring, but it was a safe remark. Few girls would mind anything said in their praise. Now that boy started showing he was going to be quite dare to say that you have an interesting face. That means you have a lovely face, the way he commented. But it was quite safe remark, as he thought that some girls would like their praises. She laughed pleasantly. It was a clear, ringing laugh. So the moment he said that you have an interesting face, the girl laughed, and it was not that she laughed, but it was a clear, ringing laugh. That means she was happy to hear that. It's nice to be told that, she said. I'm so tired of people telling me that I have a pretty face. Now the girl replied in that, I'm tired of telling people, because all the time people tell me that I have a pretty face, and I'm tired of listening to that. People praising me of my pretty face. So you do have a pretty face, I said to myself, when I said aloud, well, an interesting face can be pretty also. So you do have a pretty face, I said to myself. Now, as the narrator was blind, so he could not see, but it was just his wild guess of saying that you have an interesting and a pretty face. So that became true. So that means he felt that means the girl has the has a pretty face. So he said, and well, so interesting face. एंड देन ही आई ऑल्सो सेड अलाउड, मतलब फिर उसके बाद वो जोर से भी, पहले तो उसने मन में ऐसा सोचा कि ओ ये तो ठीक है कि उसका फेस प्रिटी है, इसका मतलब जो मैंने बोला वो ठीक ही निकला, लेकिन एक इंटरेस्टिंग फेस, प्रिटी फेस भी हो सकता है. नाउ नेक्स्ट पेज. यू आर वेरी विटी, शी सेड. हैव यू अ वॉच? व्हाट इज द टाइम इज इट? नाउ दैट गर्ल सेड यू आर वेरी विटी, मतलब आप बहुत मजाक करते हैं और आपके पास हैव योर वॉच मीन्स डू यू हैव अ वॉच, देन टेल मी व्हाट्स द टाइम. We will be soon at your station, I replied. So the narrator said, now within few minutes we will reach your station. Thank goodness it's a short journey, she said. I can't bear it in a train for more than 3 hours. So the girl said, I'm very thankful to God that my journey is very short because I cannot have enjoy, or I don't like in long journeys in the train. Maximum 2 to 3 hours I can travel in train, not more than that. But I was prepared to sit there with her for any length of time. I could never be tired of listening to her talking. Her voice had the sparkle of the mountain brook. Now the narrator said that girl was not happy with the long journey, but I was prepared to sit her for the long hours of the journey because her voice was so sweet. It has a sparkle of the mountain brook. So her, because he was never tired of listening to her because her voice was so sweet, and sparkle means ऐसे माउंटेन में से, पहाड़ में से एक पतली सी छोटी सी जो नदी निकलती है, वैसी उसकी लहराती आवाज उसको लग रही थी. As soon as she left the train, he would forget out brief encounter, but its sweetness would stay with me for the rest of the journey. All my present thoughts were centered around her. Now the station came and she got down at the station, and then what did the narrator said? That maybe a brief encounter, maybe a small journey was there with her, but I would never forget this journey. And my thinking was now around her only. I was centered around her, मतलब कि अब मेरी जो सोच थी उसके चारों तरफ ही घूमने लगी थी, क्योंकि उसकी वॉइस इतनी, स्वीटनेस ऑफ हर वॉइस वुड ऑलवेज रिमेन विथ मी टिल द रेस्ट ऑफ माई जर्नी. The engine gave a whistle, the carriage wheels changed their sound and rhythm. The girl got up to collect her things. I wondered if she wore her hair in a bun or if she had a ponytail. Wondered if it is hung down loose over her shoulders or if it was cut very short. Now, as the engine gave the whistle, because the station was close by and the girl had to get down at the Sahranpur station where her auntie would come and receive her. So, as the miscarriage changed the wheels, that means that the station was coming nearer. So, the track was getting changed by the train. The girl stood up and collected all her things so that she can get down easily when the station comes. Now, the narrator himself said in the last paragraph only that we read, that all his thoughts were centered around her. Now he started thinking how was her hairstyle. He started thinking about his hairstyle, whether he had a bun or he had a long ponytail or he had left her lose her hair on the shoulders, or if the hair was cut short. He started thinking of all that. The train drew slowly into the station. Outside there was shouting of the porters and the vendors. Now the time came when the train came to the station and came to a halt at the station. So as the station comes, you all know all the vendors and the porters come around running near the compartment to help out the people, and the vendors start selling their things. A high-pitched female voice was heard near the carriage door. It must have been the girl's aunt there. Now, as the vendors and the porters were shouting, there was a high pitched, means exhaust, a loud sound was there, and that voice was a female voice. So the narrator feels that that voice must be of the girl's aunt who had come to receive her. Goodbye, said the girl. She was standing very close to me. She was so close that I could feel, I could read the perfume that she had from her hair. Now the girl was standing close by that narrator, and she said to him goodbye, and she was so close that the narrator could feel the perfume that she was wearing on her hair. I stood up from my seat. I wanted to raise my hand and touch her hair, but she moved away. Only the perfume still lingered where she had stood. Now the narrator was sitting there on his berth, and the girl came close to her and said goodbye. But before the narrator could stand up, he wanted to touch her hair. But before he could do that, she went away very quickly out of the compartment. But he could feel only the perfume that was left behind by that girl. Lingered means that the aroma of the perfume was still in the air. There was some confusion in the doorway. A man who was getting into the compartment spoke some words in an apology. Now, as the girl was getting out of the compartment, there was a man who was getting into the same compartment. I think they might have man might have pushed that girl while getting into the compartment. So he said some few words of apology. That means he apologized for what he did, because he might have hurt that girl. So the narrator heard some words. There was a confusion near the door, means either he was getting in and the girl was getting out. So there was some confusion over there, and we heard those words of apology from that man who was getting into the compartment. Then the door banged shut, and I turned to my berth. And as the man got into the compartment, there's a loud bang of the door of the compartment being shut. So the narrator went and sat on his seat. The guard blew his whistle and train moved off. And after some time, the train moved out of the Saharanpur station. Slowly the train gathered speed. The wheels took up their songs. The carriage groaned and shook. I found a window and sat in the front of it. Now slowly the train, as the train leaves the station, you all know the train starts gathering the speeds, and the sound of the wheels also change once the train gathers the speed. So the train, as the whole train moves, shooks when the train moves very fast. So the narrator found a seat near the window and sat in front of it. I started staring into the daylight when the darkness, that was the darkness for me. Now he started looking out, because he doesn't want anybody to know, the person who comes in that compartment, to know that he was blind. So started staring out to see, means बाहर की तरफ देखने लगा, जिससे कि वो जो डे लाइट था वो तो पूरा उसके लिए completely it was a darkness only, because he could not see, but he just pretended that he can see. Once again, I had a game to play with the new companion. So he started the same way he started talking as if he could see with the new companion that had got into the train. I'm sorry, said the passenger, trying to make a conversation. I am not attractive companion as the one who had just left. Now the stranger who had entered the train wanted to talk with the narrator, so he started a conversation by saying that, oh, I'm sorry, I'm with the words that I'm sorry that I'm not as attractive as the girl who just left. She was so attractive, so I'm not as attractive a companion as the girl who had left the train. Means not an attractive person or not an interesting person. She was an interesting girl. I said, can you tell me whether the she had a long hair or short? Now the narrator gathered all his courage to ask that to that man that because he had a conversation with the girl, so he knew that she was an interesting girl. So he said that the girl was interesting, but can you tell me whether her hair was long or short? I didn't notice, he replied, sounding puzzled. Now that the other man on the compartment was too puzzled that why he's asking such a question that her hair was short or long. But he said that I didn't take a notice of that. It was her eyes that I noticed, not her hair. He said it was the eyes that noticed. I noticed that, not her hair. She had such a beautiful eyes, but they were of no use to her. He said that her eyes were so attractive and beautiful that at first sight the person will look at her eyes only. So I also took notice of her eyes. Her eyes were so beautiful, but they were of no use. Why they were of no use? Because she was completely blind. Didn't you know? Didn't you notice that the other person said that, didn't you notice that she was completely blind? She could not see. Such a beautiful eyes she had, but she could not see with those eyes. So this was a lovely, interesting story of the train journey, that the man himself was blind. He pretended that he can see, and the girl who came into compartment was also blind, and she also pretended that she could see. So this way both completed their journey. So this is the end of the explanation part. Now after this, the PDF will be sent for the exercises and all the textual part. So dear children, all of you go through the story once again at home. You will enjoy reading it. So bye.